In today's news, opposition raises concerns over infrastructure summit exclusion. Summit hailed a huge success and a catalyst for the industry. Opposition plans to reintroduce the motion of no confidence in the House of Assembly. 379 staff amid questions over retirement policies. Some cases drag on for up to 8 years amid legal delays. Expansion in support of the upcoming St. Patrick's Festival. President Trump vows to restore American greatness. Biden sets presidential record for most individual pardons. We have the details of this, so much more, both on the local, regional, and international scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, Producer and Engineer. Kamal Letson, Photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, Sales Manager and Hospitality Professional. Leland Abraham, IT Technician and Cybersecurity Analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7, coming January 29th at 8 p.m. exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner. Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Monday, January 20th, 2025. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Monday's wish to each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene, opposition leader, the Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton, challenged government's celebration of record tourism numbers, arguing that the territory's high proportion of cruise ship visitors overshadows more economically significant overnight stays. The criticism comes as the Virgin Islands marks a milestone of over 1 million tourist arrivals in 2024, a 9.8% increase from 2023. While cruise visitors accounted for some 768,293, the total overnight visitors numbered at just 305,876.
The government have announced the tourism numbers better than pre-2016 numbers, over a million visitors, but the majority, 75% is from cruise tourism, and another 300,000 is overnight guests. And we all know that the overnight guests leave a lot more direct revenue in the country than cruise tourism.
Skelton's comments came as an opposition press conference was held concurrently with the government's inaugural tourism summit, an event he claimed the opposition was largely excluded from attending. Skelton criticized the summit's organization, noting that some opposition members received last-minute invitations just one day before the event, while others weren't invited at all.
There is a major conference that is going on as we speak. As members of the opposition, we were not invited until the last second. So I know that's a question that is common, so I answer it. And we already had arrangements, and so we couldn't attend. So again, that's a mistake on the government part.
A district representative, the Honorable Marlon A. Penn, raised additional concerns about the territory's readiness for the increased tourism, citing neglected infrastructure maintenance. He also noted that matters such as the condition of the roads and overgrown bush are tempering his celebration of the arrival numbers.
Yes, we see an uptick in persons who are coming via cruise tourism. and the direct flight, and we are happy that those things are happening, and we're happy that we're welcoming persons to our shores. But what are we welcoming into? We are unable to do basic maintenance of the roadways, basic maintenance of the bush and thing, and that we need to keep the country in a state of readiness, of preparedness to welcome persons to our shores.
The two-day tourism summit, which concluded last week, has been hailed as a success and a step in the right direction. Some 160 stakeholders joined in the summit, which featured local, regional, and international speakers. The first of its kind has been hailed by Junior Minister of Tourism as a catalyst for the industry.
I think that we had a very, very successful, to me it was excellent. Our presenters really set the pace in terms of what they talked about, the topics that they talked about. Our participants, I mean, I was elated to see so many persons physically here on Peter Island.
Yes.
And also those online. I was told we had about 47 persons online.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. And just the interaction, the interest that maintained, and the fact that they came back for the second day, that was to me was a really good thing. And to show that there's lots of interest in our tourism industry, our tourism product itself. And one of the key things that I mentioned, they'll have to listen to us when we do the reporting or when we put this back out, maybe online. In my wrap up, I just talked about a couple of key points. And one of them was the fact that the industry wants to be consulted more and they want to collaborate.
Mrs. Sharon Flax-Brutus of the BVI Hotel and Tourism Association recapped the event, speaking on what needs to be done next.
I think the summit was precedent setting. We shared a lot of ideas. What I'd like us to do is to be able to move forward in a concrete way so that we not only talk, but we plan and we execute so that at the next summit, because there has to be a next summit,
Correct.
then we can report on our successes. And again, collaboration. That's my key word for tourism.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism also outlined the steps to follow the summit, such as policy implementation and legislation.
Well, first and foremost, I think that the fact that we're going to have a policy, and there's been a statement in the House of Assembly made recently that we will have our policy formulated by the 30th of June.
Oh,
so our
30th
ministry,
of June.
yes, the 30th of June. And therefore that means that our ministry really has to gear up and have the necessary dialogue. The summit was a launch pad for that to happen. And I think the most important thing that people can appreciate is that we have the ability, and our approach is to be informed by the realities that people are facing. Our approach is one of listening, and our stance is incredibly informed by people and how they want to shape the future of tourism in the Virgin Islands.
Director and Deputy Director of the BVI Tourist Board, Mr. Clyde McCoy and Mrs. Natasha Chowell, addressed the impact the summit will have on the industry and its stakeholders.
It was a fantastic 2 days. We had such a good cross-section of the industry that was absolutely key in ensuring that we get such a wide input. It was also good to see that we had regional partners here, we had airline partners, and we had international partners. Some of our team were online as well,
Yes.
so they were able to listen in and contribute. I think it was a good 2 days. It was very positive.
I think by all accounts, it seems to be very good. Mr. McCoy, you can now breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes.
Talk to me. Are your expectations met?
Yes, I thought these last 2 days have been. I thought these last 2 days were amazing. One of the key things with tourism is that it's not owned by the ministry or the Yachting Association or the BVI Tourist Board. It's something that's owned by the stakeholders and the people of the British Virgin Islands. So hearing what the people of the Virgin Islands have to say and the stakeholders have to say is what is going to lead us into the next generation of tourism and who we become. So this type of event is the type of event that allows us to get the opinions needed, get the conversation started about where we're going in tourism, And kudos to the ministry for leading the way and making it happen.
Up next, viewers, we have much more on the local scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
That's just not cricket.
No sweat, you with CG. Remember my street dance battle against Seamus O'Leapsy? I went on to win the title of Miss Irish-ish, set to perform at nursing homes around the world. Then this happened. Seamus on you, Seamus. Anyway, I was covered. Let's bounce.
Comprehensive motor cover for damage and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Attention Anegada residents! Attention Anegada residents! CCT is coming to you! That's right! CCT will be visiting Anegada every third Wednesday of the month. Need to pay your bill? Sign up for a new service? Or have a customer service concern? CCT has got you covered! No need to leave the island. CCT is here to make staying connected easier than ever. Mark your calendars for every third Wednesday starting October 16th and visit us for all your CCT service needs. For more information, call us at 444-4444 or follow us on any of our social media pages. See you soon, Anegada!
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all for sticking with us. Moving right along on the local scene in the Virgin Islands, members of His Majesty's loyal opposition have accused Premier Dr. the Honorable Natayo D. Wheatley of manipulating the parliamentary process to avoid accountability, but they have vowed to reintroduce a motion of no confidence in the House of Assembly. During a press conference held on Friday, January 17th, 2nd District Representative, the Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull criticized the Premier's actions as undemocratic and disrespectful to the legislator and the people of the Virgin Islands. He affirmed the opposition's commitment to holding the Virgin Islands Party administration accountable, promising the motion's return despite previous roadblocks.
What the Premier says and what the Premier does is two different things. That has been proven, and by your fruits you should know them. That's what the Bible says. I think what's important is for us not to lapse on the fact that the opposition will bring back another vote of no confidence, and we will continue to bring challenges to the government, because even the 21 items that were listed in that motion in November, if not 99% of them, given that we're now in January, they still are very relevant. And there's more that can be added, and we will do our job to bring it back to the House of Assembly, because it's part of the democratic process. It's part of how you keep the government accountable, and rather than them playing the games that they have with the democratic process, they need to answer the people of the Virgin Islands.
Leader of the opposition, the Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton, detailed the setbacks the motion has faced, including its interruption in October of 2024, when government members walked out of the House of Assembly, leaving the chamber without a quorum. Skelton refuted allegations that the Premier offered a behind-the-scenes deal to delay the motion in exchange for prioritizing other legislative matters.
He cannot do that based on the democratic process. The Speaker is in charge of the House. The Speaker is in control of the House. There are three leaders in the House: the Speaker, the leader of government business, and the leader of the opposition. Those are the three leaders. Now, we started to debate the bill. I started not debating, but introduced the bill. And the government side walked out. So left us with 5 people on our side. So we, want somebody bring to the attention of the Speaker that there's not a quorum, then that's it. So the introduction of the motion was already in process, and they walked out. the government walked out of their own house that they have the majority for.
The opposition leader was also asked about his strategies to sway the government's slim 6-7 majority, and he responded with the following.
I was hoping to flip that large member, but she's with us. Now I have to try to flip the member for the third.
Meanwhile, 6th District Representative, the Honorable Myron V. Walwyn, also joined the criticism, accusing Premier Wheatley of undermining parliamentary norms through tardiness, procedural violations, and alleged efforts to manipulate the legislative agenda.
The bills coming to the House without being properly read and properly scrutinized, the bills being pushed through for first, second, and third reading without understanding the importance of the first reading and timing between the first and second reading so the public could be made aware as to what is taking place. To even simply his lack of respect for the House, he's late every single sitting of the House. The last throne speech, the governor's people were there. He had the governor waiting almost 40 minutes for him to arrive so the governor can give the throne speech. And here in what you are saying, he's negotiating a parliamentary device, a parliamentary accountability device. He's negotiating for it to come when it suits him. Don't we see what's happening here? This is somebody who has absolutely no respect for his first call of duty.
The opposition first introduced a motion of no confidence in September of 2024. However, it was removed from the order paper due to procedural errors in filing. It was rescheduled for the 20th sitting of the first session of the 5th House of Assembly in October of 2024, but stalled once again when government members walked out, preventing the required quorum. Despite these setbacks, the opposition remains, they say, resolute in pursuing the motion. They aim to challenge what they view as a systemic governance failure under the VIP administration and to hold the Premier, they say, accountable to the people of these Virgin Islands. Acting Police Commissioner Jacqueline Vanterpool deflected questions about potential resource shortages within the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force during a recent press conference, while acknowledging such concerns might have merit, adding that the matter would be in need of further conversation.
As I stand before you, our present quota is 301. We are presently up to a quota, presently male, female, along with auxiliaries. I would not say to you that we need additional resources. There's a possibility we might need additional resources, but that has to be a discussion surrounding us and the government and then other agencies that works very closely with the police.
Vanterpool emphasized that the force is maximizing its effectiveness with available resources, as revealed in discussions surrounding the territory's 2025 budget deliberations. The force currently maintains a staff of 379, including auxiliary officers.
What we have so far, we utilize them as best as we can, Superintendent Rock is here. I'm going to give him an opportunity to address you and other media because he's frontline policing, so he deals with all the frontline policing with that visible frontline presence of police. I'm sure you can attest with me that you've seen an improvement in police now on the streets, both in the mornings and the afternoons. It's one of our key areas that we're focusing on to make sure there's visible police presence in the Rotorua area.
The staffing situation came under scrutiny when 2nd District Representative, the Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull, questioned the force's inconsistent retirement practices during budget discussions. Turnbull highlighted disparities in retirement enforcement, noting some of the officers are retained beyond retirement age while others face mandatory retirement. Vanterpool explained that recent amendments to the Retirement Age Act allowed selective extensions beyond the standard retirement age of 55, with decisions based primarily on performance evaluations. She acknowledged that current police policy lacks clear guidelines for addressing non-performance issues, prompting a policy review. 12 Royal Virgin Islands Police Force officers currently indicted from duty continue to receive partial salaries, some for up to 8 years. For Acting Commissioner Jacqueline Vanterpool stated. She spoke during deliberations of the Standing Finance Committee. The suspended officers, primarily sergeants and constables, face various charges including aggravated bodily harm, assault, and breach of trust offenses. They receive between half to 3/4 of their regular salaries while indicted. According to a report from the Standing Finance Committee, most cases have remained unresolved for 3 to 5 years, with one officer's suspension extending up to 8 years. Vantaboo said outside lawyers hired by the officers have obtained stays on internal disciplinary proceedings, preventing case resolutions. The issue extends beyond the police force. The Deputy Governor's Office is currently compiling data on indicted officers across all public service departments. The report shows 29 total indicted officers across the public service, with 24 facing salary reductions. Under territorial regulations, officers facing disciplinary or criminal proceedings may be indicted from their duties while receiving no less than half their salary, as determined by the relevant commission. Now, viewers, the lengthy suspensions with pay have drawn criticism from members of the public who question the justice of cases dragging on for multiple years while officers continue receiving substantial portions of their salaries. Up next, we take a look at some regional and international stories that are trending.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pop the Balloon or Find the Connection. Let's meet our first contender, ladies. Okay, Joey, so do you have any toxic traits?
Very restrictive. I don't give more time. What you get is what you get. I don't like to give unlimited time. That's it.
Okay, can you tell us why you popped your balloon?
That's a little too restricted for me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies, so let's meet our second contender.
Sorry, excuse me. Why did you pop a balloon?
I
could give you minutes, data, unlimited call, overseas call, fiber. What else you need?
My friend used to date you. You are scam. She used to be for everything and more. Nothing to offer.
Okay, ladies, let's welcome our last contender. You look nice. Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. My name is Christian Charles Thomas. They call me C Sweetie.
What do you have to offer these ladies?
Well, security, trust, unlimited time, and I'm pretty fast.
Okay, so do you have any deal breakers?
Nah, but here's my number. 444-4444. Y tú, vida ilimitada.
Okay, guys, so no pop balloons.
For a fast, reliable, and secure connection for your personal or business life, call us at 444-4444 or visit any of our CCT stores and we'll get you connected with the perfect match for you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Moving right along on the regional scene, Winair is pleased, they say, to announce the start of flights to Montserrat in support of the upcoming St. Patrick's Festival. Recognizing the anticipated surge in travel demand during this festive period, Winair will operate flights to and from Montserrat throughout February and March of 2025. This enhanced service will ensure seamless travel for visitors and residents alike during the St. Patrick's Festival, which will be celebrated from March 8th to the 17th, 2025, starting February 11th, 2025. Winair will have flights between St. Martin, Antigua, and Montserrat every Tuesday and Friday. And starting March 4th, 2025, it will increase to multiple daily flights until March 26th of 2025. Premier Ruben T. Meade, who oversees access to the island, acknowledged the anticipated increase in visitors and emphasized the government's proactive effort to secure additional air services. Winair CEO Hans de van Velde said the company is delighted to collaborate with the government of Montserrat to provide increased airlift during this very important time. Flights will be operated by Winair's reliable twin Otter aircraft from Princess Juliana International Airport in St. Martin, as well as the VC Bird International Airport in Antigua. Donald Trump has been inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States, marking the start of a new term after a contentious election process and campaign. During his inauguration ceremony on Monday, January 20th, Trump delivered a fiery address outlining his vision for America's future and tackling key issues he pledged to address during his campaign. He expressed gratitude to outgoing President Joe Biden and acknowledged the presence of several former presidents at the ceremony.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end. And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free.
Within moments of assuming office, Trump declared a national energy emergency, underscoring his commitment to reducing energy prices, blaming inflation on, and I quote, massive overspending and escalating energy prices. Trump announced his plan to empower his cabinet to leverage the vast powers at their disposal. He said to reduce the cost of goods and address the economic challenges facing Americans.
America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. Let me use it. We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
Additionally, Trump also introduced a significant shift in government policy, stating his administration will officially recognize only two genders, male and female. He said, and I quote, "I will end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life." He said, signaling a block and rollback of inclusive practices adopted under previous administrations.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Now positioning himself as both a peacemaker and unifier, Trump pledged to build the strongest military the world has ever seen. He emphasized that his administration's success will be measured by the wars it avoids as well as those it wins. Former U.S. President Joe Biden on Sunday posthumously pardoned Black nationalist Marcus Garvey, who influenced Malcolm X and other civil rights leaders and was convicted of mail fraud in the 1920s. Also receiving pardons were top Virginia lawmakers as well as advocates for immigration rights, criminal justice reform, and gun violence prevention. Congressional leaders had pushed for Biden to pardon Garvey, with supports arguing that Garvey's conviction was politically motivated and an effort to silence the increasingly popular leader who spoke of racial pride. After Garvey was convicted, he was deported to Jamaica, where he was born. He died in 1940. Additionally, Biden announced on Friday that he was commuting the sentence of almost some 2,500 people convicted of nonviolent drug offenses. He also gave a broad pardon for his son, Hunter, who was prosecuted for gun and tax crimes. A pardon relieves a person of guilt and punishment, a reduce of elimination and punishment, but doesn't exonerate the wrongdoing. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at tweet4media.com and, of course, our WhatsApp channel, as well as to like us on Facebook at Tweet4Media and Tweet4BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Happy Monday. Goodbye.